Today we are going to explore the global influence on Lucknow's architecture. This is a trait that really makes the aesthetic of the mansion unique. Let's take a moment to examine the facade of the house. You are looking at a 16-room, 10,000 square foot mansion built over 100 years ago in 1914. Designed by architect J. Williams Beale and built in the arts and crafts style, this house is a fascinating blend of both tradition and modern. It pays homage to its beautiful natural setting and to the fast-paced technological advances of the early 20th century. The arts and crafts movement began in England in the mid-19th century and was a reaction to the industrialization and mechanization of the period. Arts and crafts was an aesthetic movement in architecture and the arts that celebrated the work of the individual, the craftsman. It focused on art that was functional as well as beautiful, and it included a certain reverence for the past and for tradition. In Boston, architects were heavily influenced by the English arts and crafts movement, but they created a distinctly New England style. The Lucknow mansion falls into this category of New England arts and crafts. If you are interested in learning more about this, we encourage you to consider joining us for the Castle Close-Up Architecture Tour in June. In addition to representing the arts and crafts movement, some of Lucknow's architectural details are an ode to travel and global influence. When describing the house for a real estate advertisement, Tom Plant specifically mentions Norwegian, Swiss, and Japanese influences. Let's look at these in detail. The timber frame and decorative half-timbering of Lucknow can be seen as influenced by Alpine architecture found throughout Europe, namely in France, Switzerland, and Germany. Here you can see a direct comparison of our mountain balcony with a Swiss cottage. Japanese influence and stylings were very popular in Europe in the later part of the 1800s and the early 1900s. It was also popular within the arts and crafts movement. The exterior of Lucknow once boasted a ridgepole on each roofline in ode to these stylings. Within the home, what we call the Lucknow Pines wallpaper, which is original to servant spaces in the home, has a Japanese styling to it. The plants also had other Asian influence in their decorations, including vases, statuettes, pots, and a large bronze urn. The varying and cascading roofline is reminiscent to Norwegian stave churches. Additionally, Lucknow's timber frame can be compared to Nordic architecture. And although Plant doesn't specifically reference it, Lucknow's signature red tile roof seems to pay tribute to the rooflines and cityscapes seen throughout the Mediterranean. Here you can see the color of Lucknow's roof compared to those in Lisbon, Portugal. There were even rumors that the original roof tile, which is still largely intact, was manufactured in Spain, then imported by Tom Plant. However, one of the largest manufacturers of these tiles was actually located in Ohio, so it's likely that these tiles came from right here in the States. Lucknow also boasts two towers, one facing north and the other facing south. These octagonal towers were largely influenced by English Norman architecture, a style dating back to the 13th century. The interiors of these formidable towers at Lucknow make the most of the shape and are also octagonal rather than squared off. Octagonal houses and rooms were a short fad in the 19th century American architecture. Perhaps this is a nod to such, or simply embodying the arts and crafts principle of being beautiful, functional, and handcrafted. An additional homage to English architecture and design is the library's inglenook in Chimney Corner. This space is defined by two benches on either side of a fireplace, creating a cozy space to enjoy a book or perhaps play a card game. No matter which aspect of the home you focus on, whether it be the arts and crafts movement, the international influence, or the beautiful surroundings, it can be agreed that Lucknow is unique and has the foundation to withstand the test of time.